Okay, so these you'll all see under the What's New section on my website. So either go to laylebymail.com and click on What's New, or in the description box of the video, there is a link that says What's New, or click that one link that's there and that will take you there as well. So let's look at the 6. First off is a 3x4 stamp set. This one is called It's a Date. So these are my production samples, and they're all perfect. I mean, they're all perfect. They're all in good shape. So that's how the process works. Artwork gets submitted. They do a run. The stamp company that I work with does a run. They produce 6 samples of each of the new designs, and they send them to me, and then I test them to make sure everything looks good. If anything needs to be changed, then we go through that process on the artwork side, and anyhow, anything looks good. So what I have done here, I have just, there's a stray little hair in the way. What I have done here is I have stamped the set so you can see what that looks like. So this one is called It's a Date. It is 3x4, and you'll notice it's all pretty much dates, and that is all about adding dates to your projects. You know, I'm a big stickler for adding dates to your projects. So especially when it comes to your traveler's notebooks. Sorry, I was a little bit out of frame there. Especially when it comes to your traveler's notebooks. We talk about your traveler's notebooks being a time capsule, right? Your lists are a time capsule because they are like a snapshot in time of whatever your list is about, whether it's a favorite show, things you're binge watching, what you're reading, how you're feeling, your favorite cereals, your pets you had growing up, whatever it is. If you don't date those lists, you kind of are losing a lot of the meaning because things change over time. So all size to be used on your traveler's notebooks, but also can be used on any other projects, your mini books or your planners or your scrapbook pages. Hello. You know what I mean? So that one is It's a Date. And I'll show you how I used that one. Actually, I'll show you the next set at the same time because I used both of them on the same list. So this next set is 4x6, and this one is called List Builder To Do. Okay, so lots of times we do grocery lists, shopping lists, packing lists, bucket lists, don't forget lists, things to do lists, project lists, honey-do lists, right? So again, this is another type of time capsule. If you do a grocery list or a shopping list, I know you guys are making grocery lists, right? You probably just don't go to the grocery store and just wander the aisles, as much fun as that can be sometimes. But think about documenting your grocery list because your grocery list is very much a time capsule, right? If I had done a grocery list and documented it when our kids were little, what was on my grocery list back then would be very different than right now, right? So there is a little fun thing that I did on this stamp set, and it's a little hidden thing. When you talk about lists, and nobody get offended here, and this is the reason it's hidden. So if you want to use it, you can, but it's very unobtrusive. You can spell a word if you want. See this word right here, hit? You might have a hit list, okay? And I don't mean like people you want to go out and, like Godfather style. I don't know, maybe you have one of those lists, but you might have a hit list of things that you want to do or get done or whatever. So you have the word hit, and then you might just see a little stray letter of the alphabet that's over here. You can see it. I won't point it out, but you can see the letter that's just kind of all by itself hidden there in the middle. So if you would like to make your hit list with another letter in front of it, then you could do that. That's an easy way for me I would love to do I've made no secret with you guys. I have a potty mouth. Now, it's just part of my personality, I swear. But I never swear. I try not to. I think I've done it once. I said the D word, the D-A-M-N word when I was filming. It's really important to me that when I'm teaching or filming, I don't do that. So I make a very conscious effort not to do that. I would love to have a whole stamp set of not good words, but that's not something that I will do. It's not something I feel comfortable with. So I can give you a couple stamps to just put together on your own if you want to put that kind of list together. And if you wanted to do a list like that, but you didn't really want to put that one letter there, you also have the little asterisk. So sometimes when you see like in a text, people are saying a bad word, but they don't want to say it. So they kind of put some asterisks in place of the letters that would make the word complete. You also have a little asterisk there. So that one is called To Do. That stamp set is a 4x6 stamp set. And I'll show you, I made a list with that one and the date. So there you go. There is a things to do. There's a to-do list, right? So there's a to-do list that I put together, super simple. But again, time capsule, right? Because this is very much an example of kind of what is going on in my life right now in terms of ordering product and shipping and post office and things like that, getting ready to go on a trip. So that used the to-do list with things to do. And then also, actually, this one used 3 different stamp sets. I used the date stamp down there below. And then I also used just the regular old bullets and more stamp set for my little bullets. On that to-do stamp set, you'll notice there is a check mark and an X. So if you even want to mark off the things that you've done, that's what I did. I used the little check mark to mark off the things that I did. So there we go. I know, so that's funny. A lot of you are saying that you want a stamp set, but like that, right? Okay, a little bit more water here. Hang on. Okay, and Pamela said she's usually on that list, right? She's usually on that list. Okay, so there we go. That list showed you both to-do list and it's a date. All right, next up, we have something that that you guys prompted me to create this stamp set 100%, because way back, well, not way back, back in March, when I did the March release of stamps, and I had put this list, or a photo, kind of a part of this list, up on the website as a sneak peek, or excuse me, up on Facebook and as a sneak peek, and said, hey, here's a hint at some new stamps. I said, what do you think they are? I can't tell you how many of you said, oh my gosh, it's one of your box stamps. Because I draw these little boxes all the time, and I get out my ruler and I draw the box, and then I use my little Sharpie to outline by hand kind of the inside of the box. So it just gives us a little fun way to frame things on your list, right? So many of you said, oh my gosh, I'm so excited for that stamp set. I was like, oh, okay. Well, that's not a new stamp set. So the news is now that is a new stamp set. So this one is called In the Box. And it is actually, don't mind that. I just didn't get that quite cleaned as well when I put my sample together. I actually didn't even put a sample together with it. This is the testing, but that's hand drawn. This is now the stamp. So a combination of it being hand drawn and then outlined. Now that's something that you could just as easily, I mean, I'm not a very good salesperson here when I tell you this. You don't need that stamp set. You could totally do that on your own. You get out your ruler, you draw the box, and then you get out your pen and you draw the inside box. But I always say that when I make the stamps, in a lot of cases, they're, they say necessity is the mother of invention. Well, that takes a lot of time when I have to do that, especially when we're on a live on one of our Saturdays, and I'm measuring my boxes, drawing the boxes, outlining, erasing. So now I just have the stamp or the larger box. So the dimensions of those are on the website. They are, let me see. Well, we'll just look really quick. They're both the same width. They are about, oh, I don't want that one. I need this one so I can see my 16ths. There we go. So this guy is 3 and 13/16. No, 3 and 3/16. Wow. 3 and 3/16, that is the width of the box. And the height of this little box is 1 and 3/16. Okay. So same width, the height of your larger one is just about 2 inches, just shy of 2 inches. So that'll give you a good feel for exactly what that looks like. And as I use these stamps going forward on the lives on Saturday, I will show you how you can create a mask to mask out part of the stamp. So you'll notice on some of these where the box does not go all the way around, it hasn't completed itself. because I have a number right there. So we'll go through an exercise of how you can create a mask if you want to leave room for either another stamp. Those are Christine numbers small, those stamps, or to put a sticker there or whatever you wanted to do, or to put a butterfly or an icon or something like that. There's Vicky. There's Vicky. I know exactly, Rena. Well, I always have to tell you because I'm like you guys. I mean, there's a way around it. You don't need any of this stuff, right? I mean, I'll tell you guys know that. You don't need any of this stuff, but boy, it sure is fun, isn't it? It sure is fun. Okay, next set. This was another buy request. Not long after I came out with Swatch This inks, I started getting requests for, well, what about the little ones? What if we want to swatch the little ones? And so many times I said, well, just because the stamp's little doesn't mean you can't use the, the big Swatch This. No, but I want a little one. I want a little one. And I heard that enough times that I said, okay, here we go. So this is original Swatch This inks. And now you have Swatch This inks mini, okay? So this little guy, that is 1 1/4 by 1 1/4. That is the actual size of your little mini ink pads. So look at actual size of your little mini ink pads. That is, I'm not sure. I think that is the actual size of the rectangle. And then there's a new shape, the little oval, okay? So I'll show you an idea, well, kind of an idea. I mean, not really an idea, but I'll show you with that. Even if you have the big set and you create the little, your little swatch on rings like I did, if you want to also, have your swatches in a little bit more of a portable format, look at, that's in my traveler's notebook. And look how many, they fit perfectly. 3 across by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 down. So look at that, 15, 30. On one spread right there in my traveler's notebook, I have all 30 inks swatched in just that little, in just little squares. So you have that little Swatch This inks mini, the square, the rectangle, the oval, and that's a little 4x4 set. And I love how that all looks together. Now this could be really fun. This is very useful, right? That's useful. It's a tool, so we know what our colors look like and what we have. But it would also be really cool. That would be a great background for a list, don't you think? Or you could even do something like that on a 12x12 piece of white cardstock to do a layout. I mean, that could be really cool. Obviously, you wouldn't write anything right there, but you create your own little kind of pattern paper with all those little squares. So I know that turned out so fun. I will tell you guys too, I did this last night. I needed to do the samples for the packaging artwork. So I did this last night. Honestly, doing all of that maybe took me a half an hour. It went super, super quick. Hi, Tammy. All right, so that is Swatch This Inks Mini. Let's keep going. Let's see what else we have here. Oh, two more. Yeah, 2 more. Let me put these little things away. All right. Next up, we have, this is the third in kind of a series. So one of the questions when it comes to traveler's notebooks that I get asked quite a bit is, love it, fun, so much fun, but I never know what to do with the beginning page. So the beginning page and the ending page, right, in your insert. So a lot of you like to do your 2-page lists like this. So how do you start if it's only 1 page? And I'm like, well, just start. You're like, no, but how do I start? So this is actually the third in a series, and we'll continue to add on to this kind of concept for stamps that you use for the beginning and ending of your inserts. The first one was right here. The second one was listing with Layle, right? There's a listing with Layle. Let me see. Hang on. In here somewhere. There we go. So listing with Layle, that was another stamp set that you could add the beginning of your insert if you wanted. But now we have beginning and end. And beginning and end. I think this one is so fun because you could use this for so many other things besides what we're using it for. So here is a super quick sample that I put together. Start of a traveler's notebook insert. I used one of the beautiful papers from Spectrum Gardenia, which we're going to take a look at in a minute. And that paper had all of that there. Didn't have the butterflies. I added the butterflies. But look how easy. All I did, I'm like, okay, how can I do something that would be super simple that would really kind of just showcase the stamp, right? Grab that paper, add a couple of die cuts, and I was done. Literally, that took me about 5 minutes to do. So I stamped just the beginning, and then at the bottom, I stamped started and then added the date. So super simple, just the beginning and the date I started my insert. So with that, you have just the beginning. You have one that says to be continued. So you could use to be continued on the last page of your insert. You have one that says the end. You have one that says just start, which that one's kind of a little bit of tongue in cheek because I always tell you, well, just start, right? Just start. There you go, just start. This is a fun little kind of grid or box for a date. If you wanted to add the date that you're starting, so you'd put like the month, the date, and the year, the day of the month and the year. And then you have date, started, completed. So you have lots of different options there to continue to have some fun ideas for how you can decorate or start your traveler's notebook insert. All right, last guy. Terry said, I'm so glad you showed us the stamp in a TN. The sample looks so much bigger. Which one are you talking about? Is it that guy? Is it that guy, Terry? You know what? If that's the one you're talking about, probably what I should go in and do then, I will go into the website and I will add what the measurement for that is, right? I will add what the measurement for that, the longest stamps are, hello. Because they're about 4 inches. And that's very much by design. So all of the stamps that I ever create are really designed for your traveler's notebook. So sizing wise, you'll always be good. Now that doesn't mean that you can't use them for anything else, but I always start with measurements, making sure that we're not too wide, and we usually never get too tall, but not too wide where we're going beyond our insert. All right, last but not least, this one is called Reggie Alpha. Now, I ran out of time, so I did not do a sample with Reggie Alpha. Because Reggie Alpha has actually been ready since probably February. I just held off. Reggie Alpha, the name Reggie, if you're wondering where that came from, that is the name of our son Sam's cat. So we have Willie Alpha, and Willie Alpha came when I was in Hawaii. We were wrapping up the design, and I was sitting in my hotel room looking out at the ocean, and I saw a whale, and there you go. So first Alpha was Willie Alpha, and now we have Reggie Alpha. Reggie Alpha, again, there's a thought process behind all of the things. This is a 5x7 stamp set. You have 26, 32, 42, I think 49 different stamps on this 5x7 set. You have full uppercase, full lowercase, all your numbers and punctuation. But again, the sizing of these little guys and the sizing of the letters is on the website. So I'll tell you kind of what the smallest is and the tallest is. But look at, as you're making your titles, as we're making our titles, look, we have plenty of room. Those are sized accordingly, so you can write your words and your titles on your traveler's notebook inserts. Okay, so those are all 6 brand new sets. If you missed those, any of those, they are on the website right now at laylebymail.com.